Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. Let's make a start with Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Giravardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Giravardhari. Shodanandana Vraj Jana Ranjana, Shodanandana Vraj Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanchari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Bol. Om Gyantimranasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutle Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakharmitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpato Brihascha Kripa Sindhave Vacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Excuse me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Ghirim Yat Kirpataham Mandashi Gurundi Tarana Paramananda Madham Shaitanya Ishram Hariyam Tassat. Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jamaduriyat Nasta Presha Abduresha Nityam Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nestiki. So, Hare Krishna. So, we're discussing the Kunti Mata's prayers, and today we'll be discussing from 31 to 34. Time allows, and we'll try and finish by Wednesday on the Kunti Mata's prayers. Some very, very nice prayers, and we have discussed so much on them already. I'll just have a quick look at the list of things that we have discussed. Okay, 23. Excuse me. We've gone through so much. Okay. So Kunti Mata has mentioned about knowing the Lord, and she has also said, I am so fortunate. And then she's talking about the qualifications to see the Lord up to verse 28. And then up to verse 31, which we'll do today. The Lord's nature is inconceivable and bewildering. That's what we were discussing last time. And then it goes on to opinions on the Lord's birth. That's the next stage. And finally, she'll be discussing appealing for more association with the Lord and giving reasons why Krishna should stay and give his association, not go back home. So like that, these are some of the headings of Kunti Mata's prayers that we have been discussing. So we'll just join at 31. And here we go. Not yet. Sorry, let me just try and share that. Okay. Right, now hope everybody can see that. Right, so 31. Okay. Gopi yada ditvai kritagasīdam tavat yate dashashru kalin anjana sambharaksham vaktram ninya bhaya bhavanyaya satisya samam vimoyati bhir apiyad viveti. So Gopi, the cowherd lady, Yashoda, Adade took up Tvai on your Kritagasi, creating disturbances by breaking the butter pot, Dam, a rope, Tabat, at that time, Ya, that which Te Yo, Dasha, situation, Ashru, Kalila, overflowed with tears, Anjana, appointment, Sambrama, perturbed, Aksham, eyes, Bhaktram, face, Ninya, downward, Bhaya, Bhavanya, by thoughts of fear, Stitsya, situations, are that me, Vimoyati, bewilders, Bahi, Api, even fear personified, Yat whom Viveti is afraid. So Kunti Mata was actually there when this Damodar Leela took place. She was visiting at that time and she witnessed the whole scene. So I think she's just reminding, my dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes are flooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes, and you were afraid. The fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. So this is the Lord himself. And we get our aunties and uncles reminding us when we were children, some of our little pastimes that they had witnessed. So his auntie is just reminding him. But she said that she can understand how God himself, who is fear personified, can be afraid. Here is another explanation of bewilderment. So this is the final verse, the bewilderment created by the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the supreme in all circumstances, as already explained. Here is a specific example of the Lord's being the supreme and at the same time a plaything in the presence of his pure devotee. The Lord's pure devotee renders service unto the Lord out of unalloyed love only. And while discharging such a devotional service, the pure devotee forgets the position of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord also accepts the loving service of his devotees more relishably when the service is rendered spontaneously out of pure affection, without anything of reverential admiration. Generally, the Lord is worshipped by the devotees in a reverential attitude, but the Lord is meticulously pleased when the devotee, out of pure affection and love, considers the Lord to be less important than himself. The Lord's pastimes is the original abode of Goloka Vrindavan, are exchanged in that spirit. The friends of Krishna consider him one of them. They don't consider him to be of reverential importance. The parents of the Lord, who are all pure devotees, consider him a child only. The Lord accepts the chastisement of the parents more cheerfully than the praise of the Vedic hymns. Similarly, he accepts the reproaches of his fiancés more palatably than the Vedic hymns. When Lord Krishna was present in this material world to manifest his eternal pastimes of the transcendental realm of Goloka Vrindavan as an attraction for the people in general, he displayed a unique picture of subordination before his foster mother Yashoda. The Lord, in his naturally childish, playful activities, used to spoil the stock butter of Mother Yashoda by breaking the pot and then distributing the contents to his friends and playmates, including the celebrated monkeys of Vrindavan, who took advantage of the Lord's munificence. Mother Yashoda saw this, and out of pure love, she wanted to make a show of punishment for her transcendental child. She took a rope and threatened the Lord that she would tie him up, and is generally done in the ordinary, as is generally done in the ordinary household, to stop them doing more mischief or hurting themselves. Seeing the rope in the hands of Mother Yashoda, the Lord bowed down his head and began to weep just like a child, and tears rolled down his cheeks, washing off the black ointment smeared about his beautiful eyes. The picture of the Lord is adored by Kunti Devi because she is conscious of the Lord's supreme position. He is feared often by fear personified, yet he is afraid of his mother, who wanted to punish him just in an ordinary manner. Kunti was conscious of the exalted position of Krishna, where Yashoda was not. Therefore, Yashoda's position was more exalted than Kunti's. Mother Yashoda got the Lord as her child, and the Lord made her forget altogether that her child was the Lord himself. If Mother Yashoda had been conscious of the exalted position of the Lord, she would certainly have hesitated to punish the Lord, but she was made to forget this situation because the Lord wanted to make a complete gesture of childishness before the affectionate Yashoda. This exchange of love between the mother and the son was performed in a natural way, and Kunti, remembering the scene, was bewildered, and she could do nothing but praise the transcendental maternal love. Indirectly, Mother Yashoda is praised for her unique position of love, for she could control even the all-powerful Lord as her beloved child. So Mother Yashoda was able to tie him up, which nobody can do, tie up the Supreme Lord, and Krishna fulfilled his pastimes. So during his pastimes, he bewilders his devotees, and Krishna likes to do his chatur mellows in different relationships when he comes to the material world. So just to quickly add, Krishna is conquered by love, and here is the evidence here. Queen Kunti does not have the relationship with Krishna like Yashoda does, and she understands that, but she really appreciates it. Who can chastise God? Who would have the audacity? How is Krishna so fearful and he's crying? This is called divine ignorance. Ignorance exists in the material world, and so it must also exist in the spiritual world. But material ignorance makes you forget Krishna is God and takes you away from Krishna. That's material ignorance. Whereas spiritual ignorance makes you forget Krishna is God and takes you closer to him. I can repeat that. Material ignorance makes you forget Krishna is God and takes you away from Krishna. So we just avoid him, ignore him, don't believe in him. Whereas spiritual ignorance makes you forget Krishna is God. Once again, it makes you forget Krishna is God. But then that's to take you closer to him, to have your relationship with him. This is and Thing is, even Krishna forgets he's God. This is the power of love. Is that sweet? Krishna is pleasure seeking. We as spiritual beings are seeking pleasure. But he seeks it from residents of Vrindavan. And we are looking in the wrong place. And Kunti Devi did not dare to take the part of Yashoda. She could never punish Krishna. Shodamai is such an advanced devotee that she has the right to chastise Krishna. That's her prerogative. And Krishna is afraid of Yashodamai. Kunti was thinking about this prerogative of Yashodamai, that she could threaten Krishna, she could scare him, and everyone. But it's mentioned that everyone can have that privilege. Everyone can have the privilege if you love Krishna as your own child. Krishna reciprocates according to our capacity. If we are thinking, let me do the least of service so I can enjoy materialistic service, then the prerogative will not be there. You must only be wanting Krishna and nothing else. So you have to be 100%. Okay. We'll leave it at that for the timing. Go to next one. Kechid ahurajam jatam punya shlokasya krite yado priyasayan vavaye malayasva chandanam. So Kechid, someone, Ahu says, Ajam, the unborn, Jatam, being born, Punya Shlokasya, of the great pious king, Kritiye, for glorifying, Yadhu, of King Yadu, Priyasya, of the dear Anbhavaye, in the family of Malayasya or Malyasya, Malaya hills, Eva, as Chandanam, sandalwood. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he is born to please King Yadu. Some of your dearest devotees, one of your dearest devotees, which is King Yadu, your appearance, you appear in his family as sandalwood appear in the Malaya hills. Because the Lord's appearance in this material world is bewildering, there are different opinions about the birth of the unborn. So just moving on to the next heading now. Birth of Krishna. In the Bhagavad-Gita, the Lord says that he takes his birth in the material world, although he is the Lord of all creations and is unborn. So there cannot be any denial of the birth of the unborn because he himself establishes the truth. But still there are different opinions as to why he takes his birth. That is also declared in the Bhagavad-Gita. He appears by his own internal potency to re-establish the principles of religion and to protect the pious and highlight the impious, which Krishna mentions himself. That is the mission of the appearance of the unborn. Still, it is said that the Lord is therefore to glorify the pious king Yudhishthira. Lord Shri Krishna certainly wanted to establish the kingdom of the Pandavas for the good of all the world. So one thing we remember is that the Lord appears to re-establish the principles of religion, to protect the pious and highlight the impious. Well, he could do that through his agencies, where he could, through his expansions, he could that, but Krishna comes himself. So there has to be a bit more to it than that. Even as Lord Chaitanya, he could have just, again he comes to re-establish the principle of religion, protect the pious, and highlight the impious. Again, he could have done that through his agencies. He could have sent his expansions, his amshas, and his personal associates to do that, but he prefers to come himself. So these are the external reasons, and then there are like internal reasons. He has his own reasons. It's like somebody phones you about something and is telling you, I haven't spoken to you for a while and I thought I'd catch up with you, but then it will be revealed by the person eventually, what the real reason was for them to call you. We do this in the material world as well. And so Krishna, he comes for these reasons. Yes, he does fulfill them, but then he has his internal reasons also. So that is the mission of the parents of the unborn. Still it is said that the Lord is there to glorify the pious King Yudhishthira. Lord Shri Krishna certainly wanted to establish the kingdom of Pandavas for the good of all in the world. When there is a pious king ruling over the world, the people are happy. When the ruler is impious, the people are unhappy. In the age of Kali, in most cases, the rulers are impious and therefore the citizens are also continuously unhappy. But in the case of democracy, the impious citizens themselves elect their representative to rule over them, and therefore they cannot blame anyone for their unhappiness. But then we don't have much choice. We only have, when we are sent the ballot papers, we have tick this one, this one, this one. It's not like we can make, there's no box saying any other, is there? We have these 3-4 choices, and this party, that party, and we have to choose from that. And they are what they are. That's the nature of this age of Kali. In the age of Kali, in most cases, the rulers are impious, and therefore citizens are also continuously unhappy. But in the case of democracy, the impious citizens themselves elect their representative to rule over them, and therefore they cannot blame anyone for their unhappiness. Maharaj Nal was also celebrated as a great pious king, but he had no connection with Lord Krishna. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhishthira is meant here to be glorified by Lord Krishna, because he had a connection with Lord Krishna. The Lord had already glorified King Yadu, having taken birth in his family. Just by coming into someone's family, you glorify them. Although he is known as Yadav, Yadu Veer, Yadu Nandan, he is always independent of such obligation. He is just like sandalwood that grows in the Malay hills. Trees can grow anywhere and everywhere, yet because the sandalwood tree grows mostly in the areas of the Malay hills, the name sandalwood and the Malay hills are interrelated. Right. So when we think of sandalwood, we think of Malay hills. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Lord is ever unborn like the sun, yet he appears as the sun rises on the eastern horizon. As the sun is never the sun of the eastern horizon, so the Lord is no one's son, but he is the father of everything that be. It's just that because we see the sun coming from that direction, we think the sun rises in the east. But the sun is always there. It just, the earth is spinning for a start. And so it just seems like that, we relate the east direction with the rising of the sun. So that's 32. Let's see, do you have anything to add? So Yadava, because Lord Krishna took birth in the Yadu dynasty became glorified due to being related with Lord Krishna or having a connection with Lord Krishna. It's compared to the sandalwood growing in Malay Hills, makes the Malay Hills famous because sandalwood is growing there, that we've just discussed. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his classes that sandalwood has always been very popular because it was a must for everyone in the olden days. For everyone, after taking a bath, applied sandalwood. But nowadays, especially in the West, people just take a bath, and usually that's considered enough. Sometimes they don't even take a bath, or you take a bath and then you put links or whatever, spray, or you put something on yourself. And so in the old days, the natural way is sandalwood to give you that nice aroma. Wonderful. Next one. Apre vasudevasya devakyam chito bhayagat ajastvamasya shemaya vadhya chasur davisham. So apre others vasudevasya of Vasudev, Devakyam of Devki, Yachitaha being prayed for, Abhyagat took birth, Aja unborn, Tvam you are Asya of him, Shemaya for the good, Vadaya for the purpose of killing, Cha and Sudavisham of those who are enemies of the demigods. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. So it is also said that Vasudeva and Devaki in the previous birth as Sutapa and Vrishni underwent a severe type of penance to get the Lord as their son, and as a result of such austerities, the Lord appeared as their son. It is already declared in the Bhagavad-Gita that the Lord appeared for the welfare of the people of the world and to vanquish the asuras or the materialistic atheists. Okay, so because he's also the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, so she's saying that that you have taken your birth as their son as well, because they prayed for you. So Srila Prabhupada explains that Krishna appears to establish balance in the world. Human society is meant to be keeping balance. One side spirit, one side matter, just like we have necessities of the material body. So we have material needs, we have spiritual needs. There are different necessities for the soul. If you don't provide necessity of the soul, then there is imbalance. It's like cleaning the bird cage and not taking care of the bird inside. So you're going to have to clean the bird and the bird cage. You need to keep them both healthy and clean, and keep the bird happy. This is why, despite having all the bodily necessities, the living entity is still unhappy, still frustrated, because you're cleaning the cage, you're shining the cage, but the bird inside is neglected. You need to look after the body and soul, Srila Prabhupada explains. Yeah. So don't forget to look after the soul, and at the same time, don't forget to look after the body as well. There has to be a balance. That you can't be like 100% looking after the soul and neglect the body, because that you need the body. You need the soul to stay in the body. Soul alone won't do. The soul has to stay in a healthy body. If the body is unhealthy, then the soul will leave that body, and then you will lose that human form. So it's important that the body stays healthy and the soul stays within the body, and then serve with your soul and your gross body and your subtle body as well. Text 34. Parāvataran naya yene bhuvo nav avodadau siddhantya bhuri bharena jato hoi atam bhuva natitha bhar avatar naya. Just to reduce the burden of the world, anye others bhuvah of the world, navaha both eva like udadahu on the sea, siddhantayaha aggrieved, bhuri extremely, bharena by the burden, jataha you were born, he is certainly atam bhuva by Brahma, artitha being prayed for. Others say that the world being overburdened like a boat at sea is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have prayed to diminish the trouble. So here Lord Brahma is mentioned as the son of Lord Krishna, who is born from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, which is obviously the plenary portion of Lord Krishna. Brahma, or the first living born just after the creation, is the direct son of Narayan. Narayan as the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. First of all, enter the material universe. Without spiritual contact, matter cannot create. This principle was followed from the very beginning of the creation. The Supreme Spirit entered the universe, and the first living being, Brahma, was born on a lotus flower grown out of the transcendental abdomen of Vishnu. Vishnu is therefore known as Padmanabha. Brahma is known as Atambhu because he was begotten directly from the father without any contact of mother Lakshmiji. Lakshmiji was present near Narayan, engaged in the service of the Lord, and still without contact with Lakshmiji, Narayan begot Brahma. That is the omnipotency of the Lord. One who foolishly considers Narayan like other living beings should take a lesson from this. Narayan is not an ordinary living being. He is the personality of Godhead himself, and he has all the potencies of all the senses in all parts of his transcendental body. An ordinary living being begets a child by sexual intercourse, and he has no other means to beget a child other than one designed for him. But Narayan, being omnipotent, is not bound to any condition of energy. He is complete and independent to do anything and everything by his various potencies very easily and perfectly. Brahma is therefore directly the son of the father and was not put into the womb of a mother. Therefore, he is known as Atambhu. This Brahma is in charge of further creations in the universe. Secondarily, reflected by the potency of the omnipotent. Within the halo of the universe, there is a transcendental planet known as Shvetadvip, which is the abode of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Lord. Whenever there is trouble in the universe that cannot be solved by the administrative demigods, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. And if it is not to be solved even by Brahmaji, then Brahmaji consults and prays to the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu for an incarnation and solution to the problems. Such a problem arose when Kamsa and others were ruling over the earth, and the earth became too much overburdened by the misdeeds of the Asuras. Brahmaji, along with other demigods, prayed at the shore of Kshirodaka ocean, and they were advised of the descent of Krishna as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. So some people say that the Lord appeared because of the praise of Brahmaji. So the different reasons given here for the birth of Krishna, and this shows that Vishnu, expansion of Lord Krishna, is there like it's like the head office. When it all fails, all departments fail, then they have to consult the head office for some solution. And everything else fails, then Krishna will come himself and sort it out. And that's nobody is stronger, more powerful than Krishna. Nobody is more knowledgeable than Krishna. So he will come and definitely solve any problem. So that's 34. So Krishna is described as omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. These are the qualities of God of omnipotency. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita that he is Om. Did Lord pay by the praise of Brahmaji? That's the question. So Prabhupada, when this world becomes overburdened, there must be a war, pestilence, epidemic, famine. That this is the natural. The earth and all other planets have big mountains, big oceans. So how can it be overburdened? So what does it mean by overburdened? Because it's already the weight of so many mountains and oceans already. So first you have to consider how this planet is floating in the air. It is floating in the air as it's mentioned in the Bhagavad-Gita, Gama Vishya, because Krishna enters within this, just like he enters within the atom. So he is Supreme Spirit. So the Supreme Spirit is within, therefore it's floating. That's the reason. Krishna is in every atom. He is the super soul of every atom, which makes the whole thing float, all the planets, the sun, everything is floating because Krishna is there, holding every atom up. So therefore it's floating. Not that weightlessness. Weight is there, very, very heavy weight. Just like our body will float in the water as long as you are living. So something living has to hold it up. As long as the spirit and soul goes, then immediately the body goes down. So everything is lighter as soon as it is spiritually advanced or there is spirit. Similarly, when we become spiritually advanced, then there will be no impediment. The conclusion is when the world becomes overloaded with demons or non-devotees, it becomes disturbed. Mother Earth feels load, very much load. So at that time, Krishna comes when there is lack of spirituality. So that's the load. The lack of spirituality increases the load. There's imbalance. There's more materialistic than spirituality, and that breaks the balance of the planet. So to re-establish religion, to re-establish spirituality, Krishna has to come and do that. So yeah, so it's very important that spirituality. There's always more spirituality than materialistic people or materialistic mentality to keep a nice balance there. So thank you so much. I don't know. I thought that might have been Sureshi Mataji, but okay. So Mataji has not joined today. We'll stop sharing and quickly. I'll ask Hina Mati today because sometimes she does have to leave like last time. So I want to hear from Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for this week's classes. Been nice. So I did miss a few because I was off. I was away. I was out the country for a few weeks. So I'm glad to be back in your association. Thank you. So I think key points for me for today's class was I was just kind of considering how sweet the rasa is between the Lord and his devotees. Krishna makes his devotee forget that he's God in a way to bring his devotee closer to him. I mean, it's very adorable, really. It's very sweet, and it kind of just shows how soft he is, how soft his heart is, essentially. So, and then the other point I'd noted was about the Lord being unborn. So externally, it looks like he was born to Vasudeva and Devaki. And I guess to those who don't know the truth about Krishna's appearance, it definitely looks like he's born like as a human, like a human birth would be. But as we know, he is unborn. He's eternal. He has no beginning or no end. Essentially, this is just like an appearance more than anything else, rather than a birth on this earth. So they were my key points. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Purnikash Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Yeah, I mean, Mataji already covered nice points. So, I mean, when we know about the position, then we cannot express ourselves fully to any person, even in material also. So, and when you know that he is a Supreme Lord, then how can you actually, awe and reverence will come again instead of that love. So Krishna keep those devotees under illusion by using Yogamaya so that they can have the free interaction with Krishna, and Krishna can also interact freely. It's both ways. And finally, one should achieve the spontaneous love. So, like we see in the pastimes of like Mother Yashoda and other devotees, they have spontaneous love, and there is nothing like a cause of their love. They just love him. That's it. Very nicely. And the first text of we read today referred to Damodar prayers, where Krishna's actions are always contradictory. So he looks like he is fearful, but actually, how can he be fearful? Because even fear personified also get fear from Krishna. So how can he get fear? And other point, Prabhuji, you mentioned like reciprocation. It depends on how much you love, that much reciprocation you will receive definitely from Krishna. And once Vrindavani Mataji was saying this in Bhagavad-Gita class, that one Mataji asked that I do lot of things for my family, but I don't get reciprocation from them. So, and then I lose my motivation. They never say, how is it? How is it made? Nothing, never. So Mataji said same thing, like, think that you are actually doing it for Krishna. Your house is Krishna's. You are doing everything for Krishna. And Krishna will definitely reciprocate. Even to the small service, what you do, he reciprocates. So focus your attention, everything on Krishna. Don't focus much on the family, whether they are reciprocating or not. But Krishna will definitely reciprocate. And one point what Shubhlas Prabhu was saying in other purport, that Krishna comes to re-establish dharma, but it doesn't mean that it will completely establish and there is no adharma at all. But he will bring to a state where dharma is in a very solid state, a more than balanced state, and then that will keep the adharma not growing. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Yeah, very nice points, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Kiran Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, everybody. Not a lot to say because it's all been said. Let me just start by saying, what is sweeter than money? It's not even honey. It's love. And love makes the world go round. And what is the epitome of love? It's God. And Krishna, we are seeking from him Krishna Prema. And he has reincarnated himself in such a beautiful way that when it is necessary to be dominant in front of the demons, he is all awe and reverence and power. When he wants to be subordinate with Yashodama, he is that little Lala. And little does Yashodama know that the moment he opens his mouth, she will be able to see the whole of the universe there. This is the personality of Godhead that we have come to love, because he is the embodiment of divine love. And the various aspects of our literature teach us that Krishna reincarnates, or the divine reincarnates at different times to bring about order in the world, because the world is full of disorder. If we look at the foundations of any house, this foundation of this house is standing on one pillar, and that pillar is only truth. And hence Krishna is due in so many thousands and thousands of years, but we're at the precipice of the golden age of the Kali Yuga, and we must make the most of it. And this is a quick way of getting an e-ticket to experience the Lord's Leela with the Lord himself. And so the opportunity is there to experience his divine power, his enormous love for his devotees. He cares for his devotees to the extent he will disobey his own laws, orders, guidances to ensure the devotees are protected. We can see the world is surrounded by miscreants. The demons exist in every form. They are suited wonders nowadays, becoming heads of states, heads of the free world. And the sign of the demon was the pent, or five side, or pentagon, as I call it. And hence, where is the demon? The demons are around us and within us. And Krishna reincarnates to help us reestablish order in the world, to help us reestablish order in our lives, because the mind and the body and the soul has to be in synchrony to recognize the divine. And divinity has to be given that utmost respect and love and understanding, so that we can recognize the omniscient and omnipresent that is all around us. He makes the world go round. No blade of grass moves without his will. And at any moment, he can flick off the switch to our existence. Prema, love, Krishna Prema, is the ultimate goal. And he comes and shows us through the various leelas, the various dominants and the subordinates roles that he plays, that he is beyond comprehension. He is beyond understanding. He can be such that he is bewildering. His opulence is beyond our understanding, and that we have to accept his qualifications and accept his authority and accept that, we are in the midst of such greatness that we should embrace it with its fullest glory. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, the prayers continue from Kunti Maharani, and they are so beautiful, so simple, enlightening, yes, and awakening for anyone who is feeling spiritually sleeping, I should say. And yes, sometimes we do feel like that, despite knowing everything. And how gracious, how benevolent, how magnificent, how fabulous is our Lord, that He's created everything for us. There is so many categories to regenerate, revive the God conscious in His being. So He has taken all the troubles. You name it, He's got it. In His different leelas, He presents that. And the more we try to study in association of devotees, and we hear from each other's realizations, it's wonderful, because everyone is on a different plane of bhakti, and everyone is going to say how they understood it. So it is very reassuring as well when we hear like that everyone is aboard on that plane of bhakti, and that is definitely surely going to take the devotees, the beginners, from the stage of Shraddha to Bhava. Once the Bhava comes, then I think people will be ready for the final step, the final destination, which is Golok, the highest of the Vaikunthas. And so amazing that devotees have done so many austerities in the past, as Sutapa and Vrishni. They did so much as austerity that they could come as Nandan, Devaki and Vasudev, and they had a Lord come into their house. It's so amazing when we hear these are like, if nothing makes you happy on a certain day, you're feeling down, you just open any of the leelas of the Lord, read it or hear somebody describing it, your soul becomes happy. And you haven't given anything to your soul, you haven't fed it something nice, you haven't given it nice surroundings or anything. Just hearing or reading of that leela, don't we feel from our inside that our souls get transported just like that into a different realm? That's what we are hankering for. And but Lord has given a hard task to Mahamaya around us, the Maya Devi, how she is making sure that we are really wanting it. Then we get the bhakti prema, the bhakti rasa. If we just confused, we want material comforts, material advancements, and we just pretend, then it doesn't come easy to us. but everybody just does get a taste, whether they like it or not, when they're out and about, when they're just going through some crazy YouTube videos or something will just come up. And I think artificial intelligence is also Krishna. Krishna is making sure that everybody does get taste of God as well, despite their own likings of material, enjoyments. So it's wonderful, it's reassuring, as I always say, and it is lovely that He has given us chance, birth after birth, day after day, moment after moment. Now the onus is upon us, how much we really want to have it. Thank you for your association this week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So just to mention that Srila Prabhupada mentions the mission of Krishna conscious movement is to the earth. At the present, the earth is overburdened by material activities. So Krishna has descended already. Nam Rupa Kali Kale Krishna Avatar. Krishna has taken his incarnation in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The KC movement is meant for improving the present situation and to give people relief from these burdens and become spiritualized and go back home. This is Srila Prabhupada's words mentioning this. And we also see that the more we become spiritualized, the more we become less burdened by fear, by attachments, and by materialistic desires. So our burden as a person, as an individual, lessens. So it does work. This increase, as mentioned in the previous verse, that spirituality lessens the burden of the earth, also lessens the burden of us, each individual on the earth. So that again lessens the burden of the earth, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, and thank you for your wonderful inputs. We'll catch up again Monday, and by the end of the month we should have an overview, and we're thinking Tribhanga Prabhu, he will give the overview for chapter 8. So we look forward to that, and please do all join, and as a respect to Prabhu, and also
Srila Prabhupada disciple,
and also take advantage of his knowledge, and so we'll catch up on Monday. Yes, and nice to have Hina Mataji back on again, and for her wonderful inputs and realizations, and thank you all, and see you all soon. Who you want to say something?
No, Hare Krishna. Just want to say Hare Krishna to everyone. That's all.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you all so much. Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all so much.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.